Hey guys, dontblink 97 coming back here with another video. Today we're going to have two bits of gameplay, one in the BDR Tier 5 French heavy tank and one in the Tier 8 Russian medium tank, the Object 416. And the first game we're going to be looking at is in the Object 416. Now today's video is just, these games aren't exactly too special, but they are literally my first games in both these tanks, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to show you guys how I play a tank for the first time. Now, in these two videos, the BDR is not stock, it's fully upgraded, but that's because I had free XP, and the Object 416 is bone stock, so I was a little worried about this tank because it doesn't have much armor. Its turret is a little weak, it can't rotate it all the way, and the gun's a little weak too. But in this game, all those fears were pretty much extinguished because I ended up doing pretty well. So here in the 416, we are doing the encounter on Pearl River in the Xbox One. Map looking pretty as normal. I'm gonna get in this bush trying to get some initial vision. Maybe I can spot somebody trying to be very aggressive, maybe one of the mediums. But all we spot is of Claudin's Panther, who quickly dies because of his yellow rush to the middle. So we don't see anybody. We decide, let's go ahead and move down. Now one tip I can give you guys is when you're playing your stock tanks, try to stay with your team. Don't think that you're invincible, because you probably are not. And here you can see I'm trying to use my team to help me out. I don't want to get caught out alone in this tank because I don't know it that well. I don't know the weak spot. I don't know its armor capabilities that well. But its gun, while it doesn't have the best penetration, it at least has decent alpha. So at least I have that to look forward to. Now we're going to keep moving up here on Pearl River. The enemy team made a big mistake by letting me down here. If you let anybody down here when you're defending off the other spawn, it's really hard to dig people out of this town unless you have a lot of heavies down here or maybe some high DPM mediums. Because once they're down here, they have house cover and they can spot you just by poking out from one of the houses if you're camping on the hill. And they can shoot your friends in the back that are trying to attack or defend the base. Now the object has very bad gun depression, which causes us to come all the way down there for a shot like that. And these sort of Russian tanks with very bad gun depression can lead you into doing things like that, which is sort of a problem because the last thing you want to be doing is completely exposing yourself in a very lightly armored tank. But luckily we realized that we could take the risk, and we did. So we come out, put another one into another enemy heavy tank, and we're just looking for shots right now. I'm noticing the 416 is about to flank me, but I know he doesn't have the gun depression to shoot me. He's trying to sneak a shot through the houses. I don't have the gun depression to shoot him. He doesn't have the gun depression to shoot me, but then we spot a Freedom. I have no idea where that shot went. It was a full penetration chance and it just whiffed somewhere else. Now the Object 416 stock has a pretty decent damage per minute. I have about a 7.5 second reload or an 8 second reload, which isn't too bad at all for, I want to say it's 250 alpha damage on average. Now the enemy object puts one right into us and we are both stock. So I bounce one off of him and I'm trying to side scrape. He sets me right on fire, and this is a situation I didn't want to be in. I didn't want to start trading with another medium, even an equal medium, because this tank just does not take fire well. It's front engine and has very weak frontal armor, and well, it can lead to you getting in some very sticky situations. We've already lost half our health just off of 2 shots. Enemy object comes in, puts another one into it, we put another one into him. Now, I'm running full equipment on this tank, so my rate of fire might be a little bit higher than his. I switched to APCR, but then luckily our T-34-1 friend takes him out for us. So my first impressions of this tank is that really this tank is, pretty good. Honestly, I like the gun performance so far, even though it has a lack of penetration, but that's fixed later on. I kind of like the layout of the tank. It's, to me, I'd honestly play this more like a tank destroyer that's supposed to be committed to the second line of attack or defense, because the tank definitely plays out that role. Also, I would imagine that maybe if I put a camo net on this, it would be pretty stealthy so that it could fulfill that tank destroyer role even more. But, you know, we'll figure that out as we go. I might do a tank review of this tank because I feel like this is a tank that might have a high skill cap, much like the other Russian mediums. And by that I mean, it's obviously easy for somebody who's not too good at the game to do bad in these, but a player that is good, I feel like could really excel in this tank, because I've checked out the line, and the top gun on this is pretty much the same one that's on the T-54. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now we just stood lighting us up in our ass here, but he gets taken out pretty quickly because he was firing at us. And overall, so far, we've had a pretty good game. Picked up 3 kills, 11 damage ribbons, 17 assistance ribbons. So, you know, we're having a jollier game. Put one more into the VK, and yeah, he's toast. T-34-1's coming up behind him. Yep, he finishes him off. That T-34-1 really helped me out in this game. So props to him. So into the post-battle results screen, we picked up 20,000 credits with over 8,000 experience. We got 2,500 damage, 1,200 resistance damage, and a Mastery 2 badge. So definitely not bad for a first game in this tank. Considering, honestly, I wasn't very excited for this tank. We finished top on our team with over 1,350 base experience. That Centurion 1 had a great game too. That poor Yag Tiger had a great game also, but his team couldn't carry him. Or he couldn't carry his team, rather. Alright guys, now into the BDR gameplay. Now we're back on Xbox 360. I want to say this is the last Xbox 360 footage I have on my hard drive, so unless I magically find some that I find relevant, I don't think you guys will be seeing any more Xbox 360 gameplay. It'll be all Xbox One from now on. And right now, my latest venture is trying to get a Tortoise review out to you guys, because a few of you have requested a Tortoise review, and honestly, I'm finding it hard to get good gameplay in the Tortoise, but that'll be a discussion for the review, because when I had the Tortoise way back when the British line was new, it was an excellent tank, but now because of the meta changes, it's become kind of an elephant in the room where you can do well on it, but yeah, that's another discussion for another video. Now back into this one, and we're gonna pick one up in the BDR. Now the BDR is a tier 5 French heavy tank, and it's, you know, it's a quirky tank. It has 650 hit points, so average hit points, but it comes with a very nice 90mm gun. And the thing about this gun is that for tier 5, it is excellent. The aim time's not too bad, accuracy's not too bad. The alpha is sitting right at 240, and it has very good penetration and even a very, very good penetrating APCR shell. In other words, this is the tank where if you get into a tier 7 match, your gun is still relevant. Unlike, let's say, a T1 heavy, if its 76mm gun in a tier 7 match would perform that well. Now, this tank's armor does let it down, unfortunately. Its whole armor is only about 60mm thick, and its turret armor is about the same, so the turret's a weak spot, the front's a weak spot, everything's a weak spot. I bounce off the side of the BDR there. I'm not really sure how we bounced that, but we did. We're going to poke back up for another shot. We're trying not to get shot because, as I said, it has a weak turret. And I know that if the enemy is smart, he'll just pop one right into my turret. We see a Churchill 7, put one into a Cypher 261 there. And that's the great thing about this tank. Also, with some equipment on it and a good crew, as you can see, the rate of fire is not too bad at all. Right at about an 8.5 second reload for 240 average damage. I mean, this is pretty good. This is really good for a tier 5. You get shot in the rear by an SU-85. Put one more into the Churchill, and it looks like I'm gonna finish this guy off. Aiming in, and he gets tracked, and we hit him for 228. Now, I was worried about the SU-85, but I thought he was going to be occupied with somebody else, so I didn't bother shooting at him again. We bounce off the BDR again, shooting at him with the side. And, I don't know, maybe that BDR just has magical French luck that mine somehow doesn't. Now we're looking for a shot on the M4, put one into the M4, 237 damage, and as you can see, that was kind of an awkward angle, but the high penetration of the BDR means we can just negate it. Now our team is doing pretty well here, 6-3, and we are starting to push the envelope. So I'm going to come down and try to finish off this Sherman. I think I have enough alpha damage. And then a M6 appears out of nowhere. I try to side scrape in, and he falls for the trick, shoots my track. He's using the 76mm. I put one into his frontal armor there and finish him off. Now I notice there's a tank in the field, so I'm not going to sit here. And yep, there it is. It's a tier 5 French tank destroyer. We put one into the ELC. I really don't want to get shot by that French TD because that French TD came out a nasty 105mm. So I'm trying to go for the ELC, and last second I pop one into him with the auto aim. Now I notice I have 2 tanks down here below me, and they are occupied to the front, so they are tunnel visioning like crazy right now. As you can see, we finished up the Sherman for 223. We're up to 4 kills now, and this just shows you the gun performance of the BDR. And I will say this is one of my favorite tier 5 tanks. I didn't think I'd like this tank, but I really do. Now the T150 is stock, so we can abuse him. Put one into him for 251, and this is just happy time. We don't have great armor, but we can side scrape the stock T150, especially when he's firing HE with the 76mm. So we're looking for another shot or backing out. The Sherman eats the shot because he got greedy trying to get in some last damage. That guy dies, and we see our ARL-44 buddy over there. Try to put one into his turret. He lands a big shell into us, so I load some APCR. Hopefully I can pen him with this. I'm trying to aim for his turret, so that's his frontal armor, and it goes right through, and we pick up our now 6th kill. So that was my first game in the BDR with the 90mm, and it was quite a good one. Picked up 2,600 damage, 447 assistance. We blocked 470 with our armor, destroyed 6 tanks, got the mastery badge, the high caliber, and about 5 other rewards. Picked up 97,000 credits due to some ops. And I will say this is probably one of the best performing tier 5 heavies I've played because it is very slow, but that gun just makes the difference, and it showed. I mean, this was a tier 6 maximum game, and we picked up 2,600 damage when really there's not too many hit points to go around. So thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave your feedback in the comments. I love reading them. I love replying to you guys. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. dontblink97 is out. Peace.